What? Hi, I'm Tim Pratt.
And I'm Patrick Montgomery, and this is the NBC 6 o'clock news. Top stories tonight surround the influx of consumerism that has begun to race across the United States. Citizens all across America have begun an increased margin of purchasing consumer goods. Leading experts contribute this massive rise of buying to the time of frugality during the wartime era. This conservation of goods during World War II was of course because of the campaign to support the American and Allied European troops in their war efforts. And it has now begun to decline. Now that our soldiers are returning home, Americans have the opportunity to buy items that they didn't during the war. Some of these items that are on the rise in our consumers' eyes are automobiles and televisions, as well as some useful kitchen appliances, including toasters and refrigerators. Other items that have begun to rise in purchases are cleaning items like vacuum cleaners and washing machines. It appears that Americans are becoming less frugal and more willing to spend money on commodities they couldn't afford during the war. Now over to Tim with an insight on the impact of the automobile. Tim?
Thanks, Patrick. Yes, the purchasing of the automobile is on the rise and happens to be impacting female consumers particularly. Thanks to the increased amount of automobiles, women are able to now frequent the world outside of their white picket fences to bring their children to various activities and to drive into the city where an abundance of employment opportunities await them. Also, this increased mobility of women in the suburbs and cities is causing a new type of shop to spring up all across America, the supermarket. Because on average women do 67 to 92% of the shopping for families, the mobilization of women through automobiles causes the growth of these mega centers for consumerism. Back to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Tim. Not only are the purchasing of TVs increasing, but the use of them for advertising is contributing to the increase in consumerism. Commercials advertising flashy clothes and fancy new products are also adding to the massive surge of consumerism. These advertisements are bringing a large amount of name-brand products and material possessions into the homes of Americans. Now, speaking of commercials, we'll be right back after these messages. Drink Coke. NBC Hi, I'm Patrick Montgomery.
And I'm Tim Pratt, and we are back with Channel 13 News. For those of you viewers just joining us, we are covering the massive increase in consumerism that we have seen across America. Now, in a more local sense, we have Jacob Beachler out in the field at one of the new supermarkets with an exclusive interview. How's it looking out there, Jacob?
Hey guys, we're here at Sears and Roebuck Company talking to Mrs. Jones about her shopping and her family in this quickly modernizing era. So Mrs. Jones, what are you doing here today?
Hi, I'm here looking for a new RCA TV that our neighbors just bought. It's so much better than the one we have now.
Oh, that's great. Do you agree with the principal of the Joneses?
We have all this money saved up from while my husband was at war, and capitalism is great. I truly do believe that prosperity comes as a result of consumerism, and besides, also, these new things make life so much easier on our household. Like the microwave, for example, makes cooking so much more efficient.
Well, that's awesome. Do you see any problems with consumerism?
No, not at all.
Well, does your family seem any more isolated?
I do sort of agree, I suppose, but we do gather around the TV every night.
What do you plan on doing when you run out of surplus money to spend on these expensive things like TVs, washing machines, and even your house?
Credit, of course. We can pay it off in installments, and it won't be a problem at all.
Do you ever feel like individuality is threatened by modern consumerism?
No, not at all. We aren't conforming because we feel like we should. We just all do this because it is our dream.
How would you describe the American dream?
I would say that the American dream is to have providing husband and 2 kids and live in the suburbs with lots of nice things.
Do you think your family is living the American dream right now? All of us.
Yes, we are wonderfully happy, and I'm here maintaining it by buying things for my family.
How do you feel about media influence today?
Well, it's not escapable. I feel like every day new things come out for me to buy, and I also feel like it is aimed mostly towards women.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Miss Jones. Thank you. Back to the studio with Tim and Patrick.
Thanks, Jacob. Well, America, until next time, I'm Patrick Montgomery,
And I'm Tim Pratt.
telling you to keep consuming.